friends, if you love them enough, to this next conversation with Lofty Heights Conference 2024. The Lofty Heights Conference seeks to create a meeting point between achievers and would-be achievers, mentors and prodigies, superiors and subordinates. In the past couple of years, the Lofty Heights Conference has had many great individuals across various sectors of the economy grace the platform and share with thousands of attendees. Let's have conversation around this with Dr. Wale Tejibade, who is convener Lofty Heights Conference. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me. I celebrate you.
Okay.
Thank you. So great to be back here.
Well, just to be clear, this conference has held for how many years now?
On the very large scale, 2016, but we took a break during COVID, so it's been consistent since then, except for I think 2001, 2002. You know, we didn't hold it.
Is that 2020 or 2021?
We held in 2020. Okay. Yes, I remember very well. We held 2020, January. I mean, it was January.
Before the lockdown.
Yes, before the lockdown, yeah.
Started,
but
yes,
we didn't hold 2021 and 2022.
I just wanted to be sure that you meant 2021 and not 2000 and 2021. 2001, because that's what I thought I heard you say the first time. Okay, so tell us about this conference. What is it about?
Well, just like you read in the intro, the conference seeks to create a platform, you know, between achievers and would-be achievers, mentors and prodigies, leaders and followers. So what we do with it, you know, for me, came as a vision for me. And funny enough, the theme for this year's edition is the power of vision. You know, I just envisioned a situation where someone who is successful, you know, in their craft or in their field would have the opportunity to sharing of their trials, their triumphs, you know, the trajectories or the turns and the whatever has led them to, you know, the enviable status they are in right now, you know, share with someone who is aspiring, you know, to be in there too. You know, just like Auntie Alera, for example, I mean, since day one that we've been having this, she's always been here. So without a doubt, for example, if I were to use as an example, it would be that, you know, there's something about her and what she does, you know, with media, communication, journalism or presentation that someone out there, you know, needs. You know, and all the person may need may just be an opportunity to just have, to have a share how she got to the level which she
You're
is.
You're going to start making her blush in public. You know, but so what's been the story over the years? Sometimes many people say, these conferences are just talk shops. Just talk and then we're done. What's been the story of impact?
You see, without sense of modesty, for Lofty Heights Conference, it's been extremely very different, impactful, transformational. You know, I meet people even outside Nigeria who, you know, walk up to me and tell me, oh, I know you, and from where? I attended Lofty Heights Conference X and Y, yeah. That's been the story. I've had people reach out to us or reach out to me, you know, who'd say, oh, thank you. You know how people get to remember specific phrases or words used by certain speakers, and then they're sharing with you how what that person said caused a transformation in their lives. And of course, yes, if you take a look at for how long the conference has been held right now, many who were there in 2016, perhaps a year one, a year three student, for example, is now a graduate. All right. Many who were single, you know, are now married, you know, so you see all the changes, you know, over the years too. But by and large, one of the things, or one of the reasons why we've kept at it, despite how challenging, because frankly, it's quite very challenging, you know, to put together, is because of the success stories. And that's the truth. I've actually thought about, I do all this stuff. I'm also a pastor, so, and the demand on that is very heavy. So maybe I should just let this slide, but I do not have a release from the Lord, you know, to doing that. And each time I remember, you know, how much of transformations and help it brought to certain lives, I'm buoyed, you know, to carry on.
Talk to us about some attendee or attendees who came and were so impacted by what they listened to, things that happened there, that they went on to lofty heights.
I mean, quite a number of them. As I speak right now, I have two of them, at the lobby, came in here with me. The project manager, Dr. Lois, Adebolo is there. One of my prodigies, Eniola Peters too, is outside there. Eniola Peters started joining Lofty Heights as a student, I think of Lagos State University, maybe 3-4 years ago or thereabout. Now he's done with school maybe like 2 years or thereabout. He runs a real estate firm now. All right, Dr. Lois, joined, I think, maybe she was just out of school serving or something. Now she's married. Now she sits on board of the conference. She's a project manager of the conference. Tons of people like that. The list is endless. Take, for example, like I said earlier on, the stories, the testimonials of these people is one of the reasons why, it's quite very hard for me or for my team to say we've had enough. I mean, to the best of my knowledge, and I say this with all sense of modesty, this perhaps is the singular inspirational and empowerment platform for young adults or young professionals hosted by an individual running in this nation. I stand to be corrected.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, what informed the theme for this year, which is the power of vision?
Yeah, the themes usually come, as the leader, right, I have a team we call pilot team. There are just about 7-8 thereabout of us. That's the think tank team, of the conference. Most times, we take a look at what's going on, all right? We try to sense what things are like, in the society at a point, and then from there we carve, we choose to address a need, so to say. So that is what influences, the theme. And of course, yes, being a Christian, I asked the Lord too, what would you like us to focus on? And for this year, the Lord says the power of vision. So my expectation with the conference this year, considering the theme, is that someone walking into the conference's venue next week, Saturday, the 20th of January, would live with clarity of thought and soundness of mind. There will be like a fire, like an ignition, lit in them, just helping them to being able to gain perspective as to what they should be doing, with their lives.
Who are the kind of people you are looking for? In my head, just a second. Please don't give me that every...
I actually just wanted to say you are invited.
The point, there are, especially in urban Nigeria, the concerns are so genuine, undeniable, so poignant, so strong, so impressionable, so unavoidable, that it definitely doesn't just blur vision, it takes it away. The only thing in your line of sight is the problem right there in front of you.
You're right.
Keeping you away from seeing whatever vision anyone is going to show you, or seeing anything different from what is your current reality. And I'm speaking about that particularly because of my concern for the young. I say to anyone who cares to listen, the next 10, 15, 20 years is going to be very, very problematic in the world if we don't get right the concerns, the interest, the pressure of young people. So, what would be the spur, the reason for them to be at this conference, for instance?
Okay, let me take you from the direction you started from. Who are those that the conference is meant for? Specifically speaking, the conference is designed for young professionals and young adults, specifically speaking. But of course, yes, over the years, we've had I've been on channels practically every year. Channels been supporting us, have had parent watch and then come into the conferences venue, with their children, right? The support that they would need to your second question now, to being there, is just there. Take a look at the arrays of speakers that we have. And I dare say that every year in, year out, we carefully crafted and select these speakers. These are people who are who have walked the talk or who've gone through the journey, who have tangible proofs or evidences, to show, for what their life currently constitutes. And without a doubt, anyone who is watching right now or who wants to be at the venue, the thought of that alone should be an encouragement to say, I've heard something about this person, or I know about this person, or I should be at this conference, just such that I could be able to hear from the horse's mouth what this person has done, to bringing them to the level which they are in at right now. And let me also say this to that. Because of how long the conference has been holding, there are people who traditionally can't and want to miss the conference for any reason. As a matter of fact, our volunteer base, we recruit them from most times fresh attendees who, take for example, this 2024 edition, someone's walking in, gets so transformed, gets so blessed, gets so inspired, and sees other people serving. They begin to reach out and say, next edition, I also want to serve. Because the conference fee is free, right? So they also see that as an opportunity of being able to pay back. So by and large, whoever is watching or whoever that will be attending, the opportunity, because it's not every time, just like I said earlier on, this perhaps, to the best of my knowledge, the only individually held, inspirational and empowerment platform of this magnitude in this nation, as it were. So then you have the opportunity of being seated in the same room where you have these arrays of speakers and being able to listen to them and hear their journey, and then be able to carve something out of your own life too.
Okay, can you just name some of the speakers lined up for this year?
This year would have an Godman Akinlabi, I think he was on this show a few weeks ago. He's actually a mentor of mine. That's the global lead pastor of Elevation Church. You have Joyce Awoshika. You have this guy, Tunde Onokoya. Tunde does, incredible things. Goes to the slums, the Makoko, Oshodi on the bridge, picks up the less privileged, pull them through, chess, playing and all of that. You have Aproko Doctor, who's dedicated his life, to social interventions, using the power of technology to better enlighten, and educate, people on the need to be conscious of their health. You have Esther Lunge. All right, Esther is also a very solid lady, a powerhouse. You have you have Tunde Adisa. That's a gentleman who was an honorable member of Oyo State House of Assembly. I think you have what else do you have on there?
I can see from your flyer you have about 8 speakers.
Yes, we have 8 speakers. Joyce, Tunde, Esther. Morenike Molein. Yes, Morenike Molein is there. Ngozi, Henry Ngunadi, NHN. That's also a very phenomenal person. And now, it may interest you to know that of these speakers, have I met any one of them in person? Okay, aside from Godman Akinlabi, I haven't met anybody in person as I speak right now. That's how powerful this conference is. That's how powerful this conference is. So it got to a point because of how long, the conference is held. I've exhausted, my own networks, and I had to be reaching out to people who have solid people in their networks. So could you please, my team would say, okay, so Peter, let's consider this person, let's consider that person. Then I begin to look for someone who knows them. So this gentleman and woman, who are on the platform for this year, for example, I'm going to be meeting them for the very first time next week, Saturday.
Okay.
Which is when this conference is held.
Yes.
Saturday, the 20th of September.
Yes.
I see that you have a website. For those who want to go there, what is it?
Yes, for registration, yes, we do have. If you're watching online and you want to be part of this, what you need to do is to visit any of our social media platforms. That's a Lofty Heights NG. Lofty Heights NG, Lofty Heights NG on Instagram, on Twitter, and just click on the link there, or my own social media platform, Wale Tejumade. Once you click the link in there, you'll see register, for Lofty Heights Conference 2024.
Okay. So, it's interesting that you put these things the way you have put them, because a number of people are actually wondering. Now, you have told us what the conference is about, and the primary objective is to dispel the misconception that vision is an elusive concept.
Yeah.
Tell us about that.
Yeah, because, apparently, speed is useless without direction. Speed is useless without direction. If there is no picture, if there is no image, if there is no destination at heart, which is what vision is about, everywhere you get to will seem like your destination. If I leave this spot right now and I do not know where I'm going, and I hop on a bus here, maybe heading to, say, Lekki, for example, and I do not have a particular destination at heart, practically all the stops that the bus is going to make will seem like my own stop. All right? So what vision does for you is to give you a sense of direction for life, a sense of purpose, a sense of clarity, a sense of confidence, direction, ability and capacity to knowing exactly what to do, and one of the things about this conference that I think I personally love also is the fact that though it's a formal gathering, the presentation is totally informal. I tell our speakers, please don't come with slides. Don't come and make presentation. All we've asked you to come do is, take a look at the people, pour out your heart to them, and tell them how you got to where you are. Don't tell us just about, the glories. Tell us also about the thorns. Tell us about the trials. Don't just tell us about the triumphs. And I think that alone helps to connect, the audience with the speaker. So because the speaker is speaking from the heart, bearing out his or her mind, someone in the audience is also paying attention and then realizing, after all, I'm not alone.
Okay.
Things are not as bad as I thought, that they are.
So is it just an offline event, or is it also online?
It's what do you call it now? It's offline, basically. We're going to be streaming it. The streaming platform is only made available for those outside of the country.
Okay, so you have to be physically present.
Yes, you'll have to be physically present.
How about those who register from within the country but who are in faraway Kaduna or Kafanchan?
They would be able to connect after the conference.
Okay.
Yeah. One of the reasons why we do that is because, there is an apathy for attendance, at meetings, of recent, since post-COVID, as it were, even to church gatherings. I'd rather just sit, someone would say, I'd rather just sit back in my house, and then watch, right? Mm-hmm. So we are not trying to encourage that, because this conference is pre-COVID conference where we were not streaming, we were not doing anything, and you had people moving from across the country, the north, the south, the east, from Benin, Ghana, people moving from outside Nigeria just to attend Lofty Heights Conference. Yeah. Okay. So we would like to still sustain that. So my encouragement to people, everyone watching, is to be there in person if they can make it.
Okay. So which is, how do people register to attend?
Yeah, so I alluded to that earlier. All you need to do is to visit any of our social media handles at Lofty Heights NG. Lofty Heights NG on Instagram, on Twitter, and just click on the link there. It's quite very X. Yeah, thank you, Mom. X, right? Yeah. Okay. So click on the link there, or visit at Wale Tejumade on Instagram, on Facebook, on Twitter, and just click on the link. You'll see.
That's on Saturday the 20th, which is next week. Where is it taking place?
It holds at Pistis Hub, Maryland. just Maryland Junction here in Lagos here. And the time is 9 a.m. We're very strict on the timing too. So 9 a.m. we'll take off.
How many attendees are you expecting?
We're looking at about 2,000 attendees.
That's quite a number.
Oh yeah, it is. It is. It is.
We have to wish you the very best,
yes.
Dr. Wale Tejumade.
Thank you.
And trust that next year it'll be testimonies.
I really hope so.
Dr. Wale Tejumade is the convener at Lofty Heights Conference. Thank you again for your time.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you, Auntie Alero. Thank you so very much.
All right. Now for Alero's scare moment.